Randy Schnick wants to know, what's wrong with you that you are against fast food workers making $15 an hour? I'm not against fast food workers making $15 an hour. I'm against fast food workers being forced to be paid $15 an hour. If a fast food worker is worth $15 an hour, then the market will pay him $15 an hour. Anytime somebody legislates a price that is not set by supply and demand, bad things happen. I'm not against fast food workers making $15 an hour. If the market will bear $15 an hour, great. If all of a sudden we are in a situation where fast food is in such short demand that in order to get a McDonald's burger, it costs you $18 and you can pay somebody $15 an hour at that rate, well, then that's the choice that the consumers will have to make. That's the choice that they're going to have to make. Do I want to pay an $18 burger? I guess I do. Well, if I want an $18 burger, then you can pay a guy $15 to make it. But if you don't want to pay $18 for a burger, then the fast food worker gets paid what it costs to make the burger. And if he doesn't like the fact that that's not a lot of money, then maybe he ought to think about getting another job, because part-time work was never intended to be full-time work. And the reason we know that part-time work was never supposed to be full-time work is because it's named part-time work and not full-time work. That's what I'm talking about. These minimum wage jobs are part-time jobs that teenagers or retired people or people who have a little extra money on the side want to make a little extra money, they can make a little extra money. They're starter jobs. They're jobs that people do if they have some time on their hands. They're never intended to be living wage. I'm not making a living wage flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. I'm sorry about that. I am. I'm not unsympathetic to the fact that you're not making a living wage. I am unsympathetic to the fact that you don't do something to make a living wage. You know, given the age of the internet, it's inexcusable that people don't improve themselves. It's just, I'm not, when I say inexcusable, I'm not saying it's not understandable. I'm not even saying it's bad. I'm just saying there's no excuse for it. You have the ability to get online degrees for free. If you want to become a plumber online, you can become a plumber online. As somebody just pointed out, Raphael Leibovitz says, hey, Mr. Whittle, I eat kosher food. An $18 burger is par for the course. There you go. That is a special requirement that people are ready to pay special money for. And in fact, I'm sure there obviously is a market for kosher food, which is more expensive than non-kosher food. It has to be more expensive. It's tougher to make. People are willing to pay it. There you go. So, look, you can tell somebody, these people are saying, by the way, when they say, why, these fast food worker things, we want to make $15 an hour. Why 15? Why $15 an hour? Why not make $200 an hour? If you're going to legislate that these guys should get a wage, why should we settle for $15 an hour? Why not pay them $50 an hour? Wouldn't that be better? And to listen to the liberals talk about it, if you paid them all $50 an hour, they'd have more money to spend on buying things. Well, that's part true. If they did make $50 an hour, they would have more money to spend to buy things. That'd be good for everybody. But the problem is, if a fast food worker makes $50 an hour, then the hamburger is going to cost $60. No one wants to buy a $60 hamburger, so the fast food worker's out of work. And of course, Randy, that's where it ends up, right? I mean, that's what it's going to do. If they legislate $15 minimum wage, then the same thing that's going to happen with oil shale is going to happen to the fast food market. That burger flipping machine that used to cost more money than a fast food worker did, not anymore. Not anymore. Now that machine is actually a bargain. And once people start selling those machines because the workers are too expensive, then there's going to be a market for the machines. The machines will become more sophisticated and there'll be more of them, which means they'll cost less money. And what these fast food workers are going to do is they're going to basically put themselves out of a job. And then they'll get what they really want, which is just basically sitting around and collecting a check from the rest of the people who are not working minimum wage jobs. I'm sorry. Overload Ed says, room service hamburger. You know what room service hamburger costs in a decent hotel? It's a $20 hamburger. And why do people pay $20 for a hamburger? They pay $20 for a hamburger, speaking from experience here, because sometimes people are so damn tired and so damn hungry because they've been traveling all day that they will pay $20 for a hamburger, although it galls them and makes them grit their teeth, in exchange for the convenience of not having to go out and get something to eat at 2 o'clock in the morning. And one time, it's okay. Listen, I'm just saying, look, I've been a limo driver. I've been a waiter. A waiter is a sub-minimum wage job. I've been a security officer, a security guard. When I started working, minimum wage was $2.15 an hour. My first paycheck for pretty near full-time was $37, something like that. But I don't make that anymore. You know why? Because I decided that I wanted to do something more important and better for me than minimum wage. So I used my minimum wage job to allow me to make college. And the minimum wage job allowed me to get training and education that allowed me to make more than minimum wage. You cannot tell the market what to do. You can't tell gravity what to do, and you can't tell thermodynamics what to do. You can legislate things. You can legislate a $15 minimum wage, and every single bottom of the economic pyramid person will lose their jobs because it won't be worth it. Shale oil and things like that. All these America now has more oil, recoverable oil, usable oil under our feet than Saudi Arabia. Why is that? Well, because did we suddenly discover these vast reserves of crude oil? No. It's because we have in America under our feet oil in the form of shale oil and tar sands up in Canada, and this oil is much harder to get out than crude, and it costs more money than crude. But as the prices of crude rise, all of a sudden this becomes cost effective. When oil was $7 a barrel, shale oil doesn't make any sense. When oil is $120 a barrel, shale oil does make sense. And likewise with minimum wage, once you start setting that wage so high that people can't pay it, then they will start looking at alternatives.